Hello, how are you today? Welcome to my channel. My name is Carlos, and today I want to show you how you can create your own chess game using polymer clay. I'm also going to show you a technique that I knew about it but I never tried until now, and it's to create molds using your own polymer clay. So this was interesting, did a lot of mistakes. I'm going to share that, and let's start. You're going to use three materials. It's going to be clay, could be any clay that you want. We're going to use wood, and we're going to use some acrylic paint to paint your piece. Today I'm going to use polymer clay, super Sculpey, gray. This one is an amazing clay to create the sculptures that you want to have a lot of details. It's a little bit expensive to use in this project, but I wanted to keep the gray, and I have it. So for the wood, I suggest this is going to be for chessboard. If you have a big piece, even if it is not that big, but you have a piece that is flat and is polymer clay, most likely it's gonna break in half. So the best thing is to have something inside. So you can use wood, you can use metal grid, you can use pretty much anything that you have that's gonna be solid. Doesn't have to be completely solid. I'm gonna put some examples over here. I'm always, if I have like in packages or in my family's house or something that they're gonna throw away, I always try to keep it. I don't have idea where I got this square that is just a piece of wood. It's just perfectly 4 inches by 4 inches. So if you wanna make your board game like mine, that's the size that I use. Of course you can any size you want. So what I'm gonna do is cover completely everything on polymer clay. The easiest way to do this, and more if you want a smooth surface, which I don't really care about the smooth surface. I want it to be more organic, more that you can see it's handmade. So what I'm gonna do is just put my clay through my pasta machine. Like you see, it's not even that perfect because I don't care to have a huge square. I could have put the clay on a way that I have a completely sheet that I can put in. It's gonna look really smooth. Right now I just wanted to cover it without worrying about that. Now that I completely cover my piece, now I can start creating the squares of the chessboard. And that was really easy because it was 4 inches. I just grabbed a ruler and I was able to create 8 squares. I did the mark on every single side, so it was so easy just to grab anything and put the lines together, and you have your chess piece. It's that simple. To make sure that I'm not gonna destroy it while I'm working on my pieces, I'm just gonna bake it. So after baking it, I have my chess board. I'm already kinda getting happy that I'm getting there. So let's start with the pieces. The first thing I'm gonna do with the pieces is to create them not having a lot of details, because what I want is to make sure that they will fit on these squares. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just trying to use the tip of my fingers to create the shapes. Something that I had, it was a band-aid I had cut, and the problem with the band-aid is that it was taking the shape, the texture of the band-aid. It was, I didn't even press it that hard, and just everywhere it was having those marks. So it could be something cool, it could be a way to create texture for something else. In here I wanted just to be smooth, so just something to know. Also it was taking kind of the tiny fibers, so I'm not really sure, so it was a nightmare. So but I was just shaping them slowly, like you can see. And after I have the basic shapes, because I'm only gonna have these 6 pieces, and create my mold to just replicate and have all my other pieces. I want to do in the future a bigger one with different pieces, maybe more like medieval, more like with more complicated and more pieces with more details and bigger. But that will be for another occasion. This one I just want it to be so simple, trying to have the same type of design, just some lines, and I just keep working on all of them. time to bake. And after I bake them, they're solid, I'm gonna create my mold. So the only thing I did is take a piece of my polymer clay, create a square, making sure that it has enough thickness, so I press my piece. And after I was happy, I just start pressing each one. And when you create molds and more molds like this one, you wanna try to create what we call keys. And basically, I'm creating this kind of tiny mountains, or I don't know what you wanna call it, but just something that is sticking out of the mold. And this is gonna help us when I create my other side. It's gonna be able to kind of like a key and a lock, kind of lock together, and they won't be able to move, and you will be able to have like the same shape together, if that makes sense. I baked them. One of the thing is, of course, you can see this one, it has a really flat surface. I was trying to be careful when I took the pieces, because if you bake this one with the pieces, I didn't have anything to release the mold. You can buy sprites and things like that, something that release polymer clay with polymer clay. I don't know if that exists. Usually it's with other materials, but over here I didn't want to risk it, so I removed the pieces without trying to be careful, because this will move. I removed them and I baked the piece like this. Like you can see, my king fall apart when I was trying to remove it. I tried to fix it, but one mistake that happened that I kind of was aware, but I didn't really thought about it when I was doing it, was that one mistake that happened that I was aware, but not really when I was making my mold. But it's a big difference between creating a mold that is with silicone, that basically it adjusts to the piece. Has, if it was a glove, no, it really kind of, the space between is almost micro, and it's just really tight. With this one, when you push, it pushes the clay, and when you have your copy, when you are creating your replicas, they're bigger than the original. I could have done completely all of them with the mold without the other ones, but I didn't want to waste more time, so I just did them. They were a little bigger. I tried to remove some clay and try to make it fit on the squares, but that's something that's gonna happen. So when you use these techniques, you're gonna have a piece that is a little bigger than the original. Another thing that was a mistake, not only when I create the first one, but also when I create the second one, it was so easy just to put the clay and have my markers, my keys, create the holes where they're gonna lock later, and everything looks kind of fine. The problem is when I took this, it kind of bent, and I tried to fix it after I took them out, but like you can see over here, but it moves, so it's not flat. This should be flat. This shouldn't be happening. Something that you can do, and that I could have done, is after I created, before taking them apart, you could have put it in the fridge, and if they're cold, they're gonna be hard. So when you remove them, you have to be careful, because of course you can maybe break or do other damage, but it will keep more their shape. But this was one of the biggest issues, because it didn't keep its shape and it moves. When I was creating my replica, the problem was that it wasn't sticking together. I have one, when I put them together, one half was a little bit it wasn't completely, like the piece, it wasn't perfect. So I mean, it still helped me. I was able just to fix them, but it's something to really think about it, doing this mold. So after we have our mold and everything, it's time to create our piece. So the only thing you have to do is fill up this side with clay, both of them, and put them together, of course, because you're gonna have leftovers. You're gonna have to go around and of course fix anything. It was getting really hot over here where I am, so my clay was giving me problem. Like I said, I could have also just wait until or put it in the cooler or in the freezer or even in a place that will become solid. So it was a little bit hard to remove them. I have so many parts not being perfect, but overall it was the shape of my piece, so I was happy that I didn't have to recreate. One other thing that I have to say that I was trying to use Cosclay. Cosclay, I love this clay because it's flexible. I was using their glow in the dark, which is amazing. It really have that glow, really powerful. But I don't know, I mean, I have to try again. This clay for me, sometimes if I'm working a lot with it becomes really sticky and hard to work, have to be honest. Still amazing clay, but I tried to use it on my molds and it was so hard to pull them out compared to the Sculpey. So I was trying to use it, but at the end I didn't use it. I even tried to combine them both. Now I have here, and it's still not even like that it worked. So just something to think about if you're trying to do certain pieces. If your clay is too sticky, you won't be able to do the replica. So then at the end, I have to do everything with the Super Sculpey, and I was so happy. Of course, I know my pieces are not perfect. That wasn't really the point. It was just to create. It was just fun making the pieces. They're not the same size. I have to say also that the pond, I'm gonna put a photo, probably you won't be able to see it. The original, it was bigger than the one that I have to modify, and that was because put it on my chessboard. Something that I didn't do is to see if they can go together. And the only one that I had a problem was with the horse, the knight. I wasn't be able to put my pawn in front of my piece, so I had to make it smaller, so I didn't have an issue with that. Probably, and I have to say that I could have get away without the mold, just creating one by one. Maybe even would have been faster because I have to do a lot of baking, wait. It wasn't that easy, just like you see in the video. I have to be really careful, go slow, do more than one try. But I learned a lot, it was fun, so something to have in mind. So now that I have my chest, it's time to paint. I have many ideas, but the easiest thing, I have this Premiere colors. So I'm gonna put a photo here too. And I love these paints because they're metallic. So I'm just gonna do a quick gold on my chessboard. I'm gonna use, instead of black, I'm gonna have them green, and instead of white, I'm gonna have them gold. Like I said, that's just because I have these paints and I love them. And it's a perfect gift. I mean, Christmas is coming up in a few months. I mean, time goes really fast. That could be a perfect gift. I'm gonna give this one to my nieces. Just enjoy art, enjoy creating. Please subscribe if you have any questions or any idea that would you like me to see about anything sculpting. Please comment below. I'll be happy to try to explore any techniques or anything that you suggest. Enjoy art and see you next time.